The Pats scored 45 points yesterday. And I understand you score on special teams, you score on offense, you score on defense. You score 45 points in a game, and your quarterback throws for 69 yards. Your quarterback throws for 69 yards in a 45-0 win. That's an amazing stat, an incredible stat. Stats Incredible brought to you by My Computer Career Training for a Better Life. Key, here they are. They got a short week, Rams. Tough schedule the rest of the way. They got the Jets in week 17, but everything other than that is going to be a bit of a challenge. It's maybe too little too late, but you never know. It's still Bill Belichick. They're sitting 2 games back of the final, 7th and final playoff spot as we sit here this morning. But the adjustment has been incredible. People were ready to write them off. And they proved yet again, if you have that guy on the sideline, anything is possible.
That's why I said I'm not going to dive in yet. I'm going to wait till they mathematically eliminate it because anything can happen. You know, Pittsburgh still has to play Buffalo. Buffalo, I think, believe they still have Miami. They also have New England. I mean, it's just all these different teams within this division in conference have to play each other. So you just never can count them out because a great coach comes up with a game plan. Doesn't need to be a game plan to satisfy your taste buds as a fan, but a game plan that wins me football games. Mm-hmm. And he's been able to do that now in several weeks. I go back to the fumble by Cam against the Buffalo Bills. Mm-hmm. If he doesn't fumble, they probably win that game. And now you're looking at a different streak. What if he didn't contract COVID? What would this team look like if he didn't miss time and they go into Kansas City? You know, you start looking at all the different things and the different ways in which they're able to win football games. And so, you know, don't count them out. That's all I'm going to tell you, because every single year when something goes wrong with the Patriots, the first thing people start saying is the Patriots are done, they're finished, the dynasty over. And then you look up and this dude is winning games. Now, he may take it all the way up to the end and don't get in, but I wouldn't count against him.
You know what it is, Zubin? It's the way you win the game. That matters to a degree, right? Especially in our country with the way we're used to seeing the Patriots win. Like, everything that we've seen from the Patriots has been Tom Brady, him throwing for touchdowns, the greatest quarterback of all time. Now you get a quarterback that rushes for 2 TDs, but still, how many yards did he throw for yesterday?
69 yards.
69 yards. But they're still winning games. But it's still key. How you win games, I actually think matters. And I think that's ultimately, look, what's going to come down for Cam long-term in a Patriot uniform. Right? Even if he doesn't get them all the way there, he gets them right there, they don't make the playoffs, still how you win games is going to matter, especially when you're thinking about Bill Belichick, one of the greatest coaches ever to coach the game, looking for a quarterback that actually can implement his system.
But when you say how you win the games, explain to me, elaborate on that, because a win is a win is a win. The game plan certainly it was to run the football and limit the mistakes in the air because they didn't have receivers. There's nothing – I don't think there's anything wrong with the way that they won.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the way they win. I think when you have a personality as polarizing as Cam Newton on your team, I think that's when it starts to become a conversation about how you win.
Yeah, because,
you know, that's where I'm going. I know it's not the right thing to do. It's not the right thing to do, but I'm saying the personality, how flamboyant it is with the quarterback that I am, that's when it becomes something, right?
Cam ain't listening to them, and neither is Bill Belichick, right? I mean, they put a game plan together against the Chargers on the offensive side of the ball that would allow them to run the football, accumulate yards, and Cam Newton's job and his only job is to get his team into the end zone, which he did a number of times yesterday.
No, I'm not saying that they're not winning, that it's not good, but the bottom line is the bottom line. You win. I'm just saying it still feels like the way they win, that's not something I see Bill Belichick saying, hey, for the next 4 or 5 years, I'm going to win this way. Well, I don't think Bill Belichick wants to play this way. He's doing it because he can and he has to. I don't think this is the way he ultimately wants to have his offense ran.
Yeah, and I'm sure. But when you assess and you look at what personnel you have to do what you need to do to win. Next year, they have some money. They'll go out and spend money. They have draft picks. They'll go out and draft guys. Now you kind of hit the reset button. Now the question is whether or not Cam will be around for that. Now maybe they've seen enough from Cam Newton to say, okay, come back next year. We're going to build some stuff around you. We get some of our players back that exited out, opted out in the COVID situation. We also get a Julian Edelman back healthy, and now it looks different moving forward. For 20 years, or not even 20 years, probably 14 of the 20 years, you saw Tom Brady throw the ball all over the lot. And so that's in people's mind. That's what the New England Patriots are. That's not the way that I look at it. The New England Patriots are a team that will win in any phase of the game that they can win at to get the W on the board, whether it was this year, whether it was Tom Brady. Because even when they had Tom Brady, they would go into a different game every single week with a different game plan. Not a different playbook, but a different game plan. Whether they would use 2 to 3 tight ends on the field, whether they would have a empty package for Tom, whether they would just run the football and not let him throw 50 times, or they would just throw 50 times. It just week to week dictated what they wanted to do game plan wise. And I feel the same way to a degree with Cam Newton. They found a source now in terms of running the ball, playing power football, bully ball, and this is what they've been able to do over the last couple of weeks and win the game.
Key, if you were the president of this team or GM, would you plan for having Cam around another year?
I probably would, because I don't know as of right now, just off the top of my head, what's out there that's better. I need to get him a couple playmakers. I need to look at some things on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. But yeah, what else is out there? I mean, I don't want Nick Foles. I don't want Mitch Trubisky. I mean, like, I'm not going to get Sam Darnold. I'm not going to get that, because they're not going to trade him within the division. Who would be out there? Like right? Like, who's available? If Jimmy Garoppolo,
becomes by default. It becomes by default. Right?
I wouldn't necessarily say it would become by default.
I know that has a negative connotation, but
unless you giving me
a feasible option,
Matt Ryan or something like that, that's a different conversation, because that will allow us to maybe throw the ball a little bit better. But maybe Bill Belichick is liking this style and figure, okay, I'm going to change what we've done over the last 16 or so years and start to do a little more of this.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.